Good morning, Raptor freaks. Alexios. Ooh, I caught you off guard. Ooh, I got to the spot early. Just like they tell the Raptors on defense, get to the spot early, and then you'll have success. Well, we're up for game day. Game one of A2 of the NBA season is today, and we are starting early because this is the feeling I've got that I want to get going early because I'm gonna have a lot to talk about today. Listen, y'all. I am so overjoyed about today. I know you guys are overjoyed about today. This is going to be so awesome. We get to watch the Raptors play against the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, 7:30 p.m. Scottie Bank Arena, and it counts, baby. This one counts, baby. Woo! Yeah, I love seeing everybody here already so enthusiastic and ready to go. That's right. I had to go 5 minutes early, y'all, because this is the way I want us to treat this whole season. We're going to get there early and show up early and be ready for whatever's coming in the lane at us. We're going to get to that spot early this year, and that is why, symbolizing it, I got to the spot early this morning. Yeah. All right, so listen. So much to catch you guys up on. I spent 8 hours yesterday watching Scottie Barnes Twitches from the last week. I was there live with him for 2.5 hours yesterday. And then he miraculously, mysteriously popped up and put up the last two streams he did on Saturday afternoon and last Wednesday night. Yeah, a week ago. So I have reviewed everything that he said and everything that happened during this time. And I have to tell you, this was one of the most active, interesting, creative, weird weeks of Scottie Barnes Twitch in the whole history of Scottie Barnes Twitch this summer and stuff like that. He did some crazy, amazing things in the last 3 Twitch sessions. Each one of them had special, amazing, crazy things about them. I could start about yesterday just by itself. I could tell you about last week, and you would be like astonished some of the things that I will tell you. First of all, when he first showed back up on Twitch last Wednesday, when he first got on, he said something. He said, Raptor fans, I have to announce something to you. I need you guys all to know something. I have seen our team in practice. I've seen our team in preseason, and it is very, very good. The Raptors are very good. This is Scottie's words. He's saying, y'all don't worry about how we're going to do this year. We're going to be very good. This is what Scottie said. This is the first thing he told Twitch family when he came back. He said, y'all don't worry. We got you. We're going to be good this year. That is straight from the horse's mouth. Mr. Scottie Barnes, Mr. Rookie of the Year, Mr. 94 feet. He believes, and he's telling Raptors fans, don't y'all worry. We got you. We're going to be great. Those were literally his words. We are going to be great is what he's saying about how he feels about this roster right now. Now, we've seen the vibes at these events this week. Nick Nurse Foundation on Monday night. The little DJ party with Precious on Sunday night. Well, we got some cool stories to tell you about Nick Nurse Foundation Night of Music. Scottie Barnes looking to a T in the black, nice collared shirt with the nice black slacks. Well, listen, Scottie told us some epic stories about that Nick Nurse night. He made legendary things happen that night. And you guys are going to think this is so crazy, some of the stuff I'm about to tell you. But it is so Scottie and just such a badass thing. He's an amazing kid. And I'm so proud of him. And I'm so glad he's on our team because he's a real one. He is a real one. I can't even believe how much we did in the 2.5 hours he was on live yesterday. It seemed like he was on for 5 hours, just how much he condensed into that 2.5 hours. We talked to OG yesterday on the Twitch. He called OG, FaceTimed him, and put him on with us on Twitch. And Scottie said, say something to Twitch, OG. And OG said to Scottie, what do you want me to say? But yeah, yesterday was the day that OG made his debut on Scottie's Twitch. And it was awesome. I was so here for it. It was so cool to see him talking to OG on the phone and talking about being on Twitch and stuff like that. And saying, hey, OG, say hi to the Twitch family. Say, what do you want me to say? Epic moment, a milestone in the Twitch history of Scottie Barnes yesterday. There was more. Oh my gosh. He told us this amazing story about the night at Nick Nurse Foundation. Monday night, he's wearing this shirt. And y'all, that shirt he was wearing was like a $400 shirt. It was so detailed. Like if you saw it up close, it had patterns in it inside it. It looked like it was all black. But if you came up close to it, it had a very fine, delicate detail on it. and stuff like that. And he looked really classy. He looked really good. In fact, I told him, I said, Scotty, you don't even look like an NBA player. You look like a Las Vegas high roller. You look like somebody that would come roll up to the craps table and be like, I'm putting 100 grand on this one right here and stuff like that. Well, he wore that shirt and danced the night away. We saw all the footage and stuff like that. And you know what he did the very next morning? He took the shirt back to the store. That's right. He said, I ain't paying $400 for a shirt. He turned around and took that shirt right back to the store on Tuesday morning and got his money back. So listen, that shirt is at the store now, y'all. Somebody can go buy it. That is the famous Scottie Barnes, Nick Nurse Music Foundation night shirt that he danced to Fergalicious on and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying, y'all. If y'all know where that store was or what that shirt was, you go buy it. Scottie's shirt is back at the store for sale again. And I'll tell you right now, they could have auctioned that shirt off. Oh, thinking about auctions, they had an auction at the Nick Nurse Foundation night that night. They had some amazing things they were auctioning off. In fact, they had one of the most rarest items that you could get, a signed Kawhi Leonard jerseys. Kawhi does not sign anything. And they auctioned off one of his jerseys signed on Monday. And Scottie was very impressed with that. He was like, it was so crazy, the stuff people were auctioning and they were like bidding on and stuff. And he's like, I saw it all happening and I had to get involved. He's like, I got the bug to get in the auction. So Scottie started bidding in the auction. He was like, it was so weird. I'd never done it before. And it was like kind of cool and fun to kind of just like, do what you see in movies and TV and stuff like that. Raise your hand and be like, yeah. Well, he was bidding on a picture of Muhammad Ali. A picture, a very iconic picture of him when he hit Sonny Liston and Liston's on the ground and he's standing over him. We all know that picture. Well, this picture happened to be signed by Muhammad Ali also on him. It's like on there, and Scottie wanted it, so he started bidding on it. So it was like going up and up, and he's describing the amounts of money that he's bidding on this picture, this signed Muhammad Ali picture. And he says, "Oh, it's 5,000." And there's some dude in the crowd who's bidding against him. It may be like an ego thing. The dude's like, "Oh, I went up against Scottie in the auction and almost beat him for the Muhammad Ali." Well, Scottie told this story to us on Twitch yesterday. It was so epic the way he built it up. I'm not doing a good job to it. I'm not doing the justice he did to it because he really left it wide open whether he won or not for a long time. Of course, he wouldn't tell the story if he did not win that bid for like $8,000 something dollars. He bought that picture and he said, "Whoa, that was a lot of money." But also, he felt like a juice from like outbidding someone at a high-powered auction like that, a big event like that. And he said he felt like someone in that moment. And I said, this is a legendary story, Scottie. This is a legendary story about you, that you bidded, and you got it. And he went and brought the picture over to us on Twitch and showed it to us. The amazing Muhammad Ali picture that he bought for $8,000 that has Muhammad Ali's signature in the middle of it. And I said, listen, greatness begets greatness. You want somebody great on your wall, a predecessor, somebody that you can look up to and be like and mimic. Muhammad Ali is a great person to do that with, Scottie. So I love that he did that. And that was the item that he wanted, was Muhammad Ali's signed picture like that. And he got competitive about the bids and stuff like that. Crazy. We did ask him about whether he thought it was invasive of people filming him while he was dancing at that event. Well, he didn't care about the dancing part. The part he cared about that he was kind of upset about was the part they filmed or took a picture of him with Bo Cruz at the end of the night. That the dude that took the picture of him running up to Bo Cruz and like putting his arm around him, he didn't like that. He's like, "Oh, they caught me doing that. And they took a picture of me doing that." That was the thing that bugged him, actually, was them taking a picture of that and talking about how he ran up on Bo Cruz at the end of the night to say goodbye and walk out with him and stuff like that. So very interesting stuff from Scottie. He is something else, y'all. There's like a whole other new level of comfortable on his Twitch. Like, we really are a family on there. In fact, he basically told us we teach him things, that we help him get better at different things. Like, one of the things we're working on with him is public speaking. So we watched interviews of his from different parts of the summer. Like, we watched an interview from when he was at the finals covering the Celtics versus the Warriors. And then he did a bunch of international interviews, and he was saying and really a lot. And he was wanting us to count how many times he said really in the interview. And then he showed his interview at Media Day. And he was like, I was much more better then. And I was telling him, I was like, dude, when I watched you on media day, I was like, Scotty's doing so much better with his public speaking. I'm so proud of him because this is something that he cares about and he wants to get better and better. I told him, it's like you get reps doing the after the game interview, you're going to get good at it because you're going to get a lot of those interviews. Trust me, Scotty. You're going to get a lot of after game interviews and you're going to get practice at this. But we taught him something right in the middle of the stream yesterday. It was amazing. He said, I say too much. I say too much. And well, I have had this problem in my public speaking career on the radio and different things like this channel. But we taught him something. We said, Scotty, instead of saying pause for a moment and collect your thoughts. There's nothing wrong with that. This is what a lot of great speakers do when people ask them questions. You take a minute to let the hamster wheels turn a little bit. And instead of doing a verbal stammer, just don't say anything. And then when you're ready to speak, speak. And he listened to us and he immediately learned what we were talking about and was practicing it on the Twitch. Like he started practicing it like while we were watching him and he was doing it right away. So that also made a window to like understanding how quick Scotty learns because he listens, he's very smart, and he'll put it into practice right away and make it gospel for how he operates right away. So he learned that right then. He said, y'all are helping me and I appreciate y'all. It was so crazy. So between like OG and then like him telling these stories about the Nick Nurse night the other night, he watched a whole bunch of highlights too. He watched the open gym highlight that came out yesterday with him dancing where he points and he's looking like John Travolta on Saturday Night Live in his black shirt. He's like, woo! He was like talking about that. Yeah, he's like rating like dance moves and stuff. He's telling us about how Precious DJs from Sunday night. He said, actually, Precious is a real good DJ. And I mean, there's just so much good vibes. There's so many crazy good things happening with him. He even watched his Google ad with us yesterday, the one where he says he's home, and he got emotional when he watched it. That part where they're talking about he's home and stuff, he means that. That is not made up shit for that ad. I told y'all the other day when that ad came out that that's not lip service. When he says he's home, he is home. He believes that. And when he watched the clip in reaction, when we watched it yesterday, he was getting teary-eyed about the connection he has with the city of Toronto already. It's amazing. This kind of access and seeing the real him like this, he watched the Subway ad with us yesterday. It was hilarious. We're watching Subway ad, and some of the people in the chat were like, that food looks like garbage. I was like, this is making me want to go get Subway. And he was like, this is what he said about the Subway ad. He said, I've eaten Subway my whole life. I've always loved Subway. I never believe I'd ever be in a Subway commercial. And that to himself was surreal and trippy and weird that he's in a Subway commercial now. That he was a little kid that ate Subway all the time and now he's in a Subway commercial. That was a really big deal to him. And like he feels like that's a huge thing and it's mind-boggling to him that he's in a Subway commercial now. He's like, oh man, it made me want to go get Subway. I'm telling you right now, you're a great ad person. And he got that bag. He got that bag finally. There's so much Scottie Barnes Twitch information that I ingested yesterday that I cannot possibly remember all of it right now. There is so much. In fact, another thing he did yesterday was he went back on Fortnite. Yeah, he was playing Fortnite with a random little kid. He just jumped on there and they paired him up with this little Southern kid. He had the most hick accent. He was like, hey, how you doing? And all this stuff. He had no idea he was playing the game with Scottie Barnes. And they're running around and the little kid's like showing him stuff. He's like, yeah, you can get the gun here and stuff like that. He's a really sheltered, good kid. You can tell because when he was cussing, he's like, what in the world? And stuff like he was like Ned Flanders when he'd get mad and cuss. And Scotty's like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on here? And the little kid's like, what in the diddly? But the kid and him bonded so quick, and it was so weird because Scotty was not telling him who he was. He was just playing with him, and the kid was like, I'm 10. And the kid was showing him so much about Fortnite. And Scotty at one point asked the little kid, he said, what's your favorite artist? And the little kid said, this is so good. Oh my God, this is so funny. The little kid said his favorite artist was Bob Ross. And I was like, yes. I was like, oh my God. The kid said he didn't understand he meant music. He said, my favorite artist is Bob Ross. And I was like, that kid is bad. He's only 10 and he loves Bob Ross. That kid is cool. And then Scotty's like, no, I mean musical artists. I tell y'all have to watch the latest Scotty Twitches and go back and watch them. There's so much on them that is crazy and fantastic. He watched 2 episodes of How Hungry Are You the other day. He watched the whole Kawhi episode when Kawhi eats the penis. And then when the bench mob episode, he watched the bench mob episode where they ate the lamb brains and DeLon was eating the lamb brains like it was good. And he said, this is what he said about DeLon when he saw him eating the lamb brains and how much he would eat them. He's like, oh yeah, we all have that one friend who will eat anything. And he's a little weird. You kind of wonder about him. You say that about DeLon, right? Because he was like really into the lamb brains. If you remember from that How Hungry You Are You episode. It was so cool to watch Scotty and react to Serge's show. And like the way he was watching the Kawhi episode was very telling. He really looks up to Kawhi, and I could tell he's taking mental notes about how Kawhi operates. Like when we were telling him, Kawhi doesn't have any social media. And like Serge said the same thing on the show. He's like, you don't have any social media or anything like that. And he's like, no. He's like, you don't have a burner or anything like that. He's like, no. And like Scotty's like, is that true? Does Kawhi have no social media at all? And everybody's like, yeah, it's true. And he's like, I was like, yeah, I don't think I could do that. Now Scotty got rid of his Instagram. He deleted it on his app. So he's not actually actively using it right now. And that's partly because he's focused and locked in on the season. That's what he said. He said, all right, he's going to do YouTube and Twitch, but the rest of it, he's going to ignore. He's not going to be involved in Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. It really is. He's going to put all of his focus on putting out stuff on YouTube and being live on Twitch and stuff like that. I could go on and talk about Scotty's Twitch adventures from the last week for like 3 hours right now, but we have more important business, real business, not fun and games, the fun stuff that we do with Scotty on Twitch and stuff like that. Just one more thing I want to talk about. And Cool Cat was there. She saw this part. I watched that part, Cool Cat. When Scotty said when he was in Victoria, he got to meet the Raptorsfreak. So he thinks Tom Duke is the Raptorsfreak. That he said when he came there, because you said Raptorfreak to him, he didn't put it 2 and 2 together. And he told Lloyd and then, yeah, when I went to Victoria, I went and met the Raptorsfreak. And like his brother John was like, oh, he's the GOAT. You met him finally. And I was like, oh man, he thinks that Tom is me. And Cool Cat tried to correct him and say, no, Raptorfreak lives in Toronto. He's here in Toronto. He's not out in Victoria and stuff like that. So Sky's a little confused about who he met in Vancouver, but we'll illuminate it for him, Tom. Don't worry. It's so crazy. All right, let me do y'all's comments real quick, and then I'll get right into the preview for the game. I'm sorry I had to get all that Scotty stuff out, and there's even more. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's insane. He said yesterday he'll get any of the Raptors on his Twitch stream. He said, you want me to get somebody on the show? You name one, and I'll get them. And then he went and got OG. So we've seen, we've seen Chris show up on it. We've seen Delano show up on it a little bit. I fully expect to see more and more of the Raptors being involved in his Twitch streams and just showing up and stuff like that. All right. Happy game day, Monique. Superfan Monique Lawrence. I know you are so happy and smiling. Today is a great day, and I'm so glad you're going to the game. Get loud and win. Help us win this game tonight. Y'all remember, get there early. The game is at 7:30, but all the events and the festivities start earlier. Get there as soon as possible. Don't delay. Don't try and go home and do a couple things in between work and the game if you're working today. Just go straight down to the game. Trust me, you'll thank me for doing it that way, because so many people get caught in that mix. Oh, I'm going to go home real quick and do like boom, 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 and then get down there. Well, and then they show up late, or they get waylaid for some reason or something like that. So just go straight there. Don't mess around with this. Because, in fact, last night I was talking some mad trash with Cleveland fan in Scotty's Twitch. He was talking some major trash, telling me that we are the 8th seed. And I say, no. I don't understand why everybody's putting Cleveland above us just because of Donovan Mitchell. What are you going to go with? You can go with a proven commodity or an unproven commodity. Donovan Mitchell on Cleveland has not proved jack shit yet. But we have proved something very much so over years, especially last year. You can really take the continuity of last year and apply it to this year because it's the same damn team and it's even better. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I had to put a Cleveland person in their place yesterday in the stream for a little bit because he was talking some mad shit. I said, look, we're going to do some bully ball. And maybe I'm doing the keys to the victory right now a little bit. Yeah, we're going to put you guys on our backs and we're going to bully y'all. We're going to figure out which one of your little guards is guarding one of our big wings, and we're going to bully y'all. We're going to club you over the head with OG Anunoby and Scottie Barnes. I said it to the dude in the chat, and Scottie said, no cap on that, because he saw it, and he's like, yeah, he probably knows that's what Nick Nurse is saying, that they want to take care of the mismatches. Well, the mismatch is going to be the little baby D's. That's right. I'm going to call them baby D's. I know that has different connotations. And Scotty, if you heard me say this, he'd be like, what the fuck did he just say? Whoa, pause. Yeah, the little baby D's. Donovan and Darius, they're little babies. And they have their names start with D. So I'm going to call them little baby D's. And they're going to be they're going to have them guarding them. So why don't they bully them? What's going to be happening. It's not like Donovan Mitchell learned how to play any defense. Just because he shows up in Cleveland, he's going to be able to play defense all of a sudden? No, he never played any defense in Utah. So why would he play any defense in Cleveland? So that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a weak spot on their lineup for us to have a mismatch where we can completely take advantage of it over and over again. In fact, I want to play that record all night, play that single over and over again. Bully ball in the bottom near the basket, just lay it in because there's a little baby on my back. Gotta feed him baby food in the mouth as we just score on him. I even told Scotty, it's like, look, Scotty, that little baby hook that you did in Montreal with your shoulders squared and you just put it over there, that's going to be OP. I said that to him. He read my comment and he's like, I'm like, dude, do that more. I really like what Scotty said in his interview at OVO yesterday. They asked him, are you going to have a trouble being unselfish and taking over and being the man and scoring, since you seem like you're such an unselfish passer, point guard, kind of contribute to everybody kind of player? And he said, I will have no problem with this at all. And I believe him because I've seen the way he plays NBA 2K. He can be in that giving mode where he's just giving and distributing and being like very equal with his teammates. But he can also be very selfish and be very like, it's my time and I'm going. So he can switch that. He can really very much can switch that on and off. It's not like with other players where they're just always like very giving and like they need to be encouraged to take more apart of being aggressive. No, he's not going to have a problem with this. And you could tell from the Twitch and the way he plays on 2K, but the way he answered that question in the interview yesterday also really told us, yeah, he's not going to have any problem with this. He thought the question was kind of stupid, actually. He's like, why wouldn't I have a problem just deciding to take over the offense all of a sudden and go for it? He wants to do stuff like that. All right, Adriana, go Raptors. Good to see Adriana, Raptor Freak Adriana in the house. I hope you feel better today. Tom Duke saying good morning to be a Raptor Freak. Good morning to be a Raptor Freak. Let's go, Tom Duke. Logical Raptors fanatic. T-minus -5 minutes because we came on early. That's right. We got to the spot early today, and I hope that the Raptors do the same damn thing tonight on the defensive end. Get to that spot early and mess up that Cleveland Cavaliers offense in all kinds of different ways. I'm going to tell you, I'm not impressed with Cleveland already. They lost to Orlando in the preseason. They beat, they did okay. They only won one game in preseason. They were 1-4 or something like that. And they beat the Hawks. And it was like, I don't know, it was some other thing. But they're not playing well. They don't have good stats. I don't have a lot of confidence in them. They have not meshed or figured things out with Donovan completely. So I really think we're going to beat their ass tonight. Like, we really are going to catch a team that is just trying to figure out how it works with this new franchise player, that this isn't all figured out yet. And we need to jump on them and take advantage of them not having the same things that we have as far as knowing what we're doing, having the continuity of the same staff and some familiarity, because they don't have that yet in Cleveland. They do not. And it showed in the way they played in preseason, guys. So I think it's hilarious that everybody's already magically anointing Cleveland Cavaliers as being a better Eastern Conference team than us. That's stupid. Where's your evidence for this? They weren't better than us last year. Oh, just because they got some new players? Well, like I've been saying, just because you add a new ingredient to the stew doesn't mean that it will taste better. That's what I'll say right there. Yeah, it could taste worse. You mess around with that recipe, that formula, it doesn't necessarily taste better when you put something new in there. It can taste worse. And that's what I'm going to say about this. And that's what I'm predicting. And I think that people aren't realizing the amount of land where they can land in a bad place because of this move with Donovan Mitchell compared to the whole good place that everybody's thinking they're forecasting this. There's two sides. They could land on a good side or a bad side. And a lot of people are conveniently putting blinders on to the bad way that things could go for Cleveland if it doesn't gel, if it doesn't work exactly right, if people are exploiting a two-guard lineup with two short guards so badly and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. Tom Duke saying, blast off. Raymond Jacobs saying, good morning, Tom. Why are we always neck to neck on points? Yeah, you guys are real close in the trivia and stuff like that. I don't know. You guys are both steady and you get points here and there. Maybe that's what it is. Let's see. Tom says, great Raptor minds think alike, like me. Yeah, we all are hive mind of thinking. Raymond saying, I never played fantasy before, but seeing those points go up and up, I think I'm a bee addicted. Yeah, it's fun that first night. I hope you guys learned a lot about how it's all going to work and stuff like that. You can see how the fantasy system works on Yahoo. So go check it out if you haven't, and go see how your team did last night. Of course, only 2 games happened last night, so certain people had a lot of stats last night because they had more players playing last night. Now tonight, there's way more games playing. It's going to be much more interesting to see how people jump around stuff because some teams did not have anybody play last night. And that's going to change how it all jumps around. But you guys will see as the season goes on. And yeah, I'm glad that you enjoy it already, Raymond. That's cool. All right, let's see. Tom Duke is saying fun stuff. So many haters are piping off already. They are scared. They're gonna be scared. They should be scared. Scotty knows that we're gonna be good. Freddie knows we're gonna be good. Nick Nurse knows we're gonna be good. And I really think we are. Like, I don't understand. Go ahead and sewer us. Go ahead and think we're like the middle of the pack team in the league. You guys are going to be so wrong once again. And everybody's going to be like, what the fuck? The Raptors are just really good. We need to start recognizing that over and over and over again. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I'm sitting here. You guys are sitting here. I'm like, what the fuck? I got things to do today. I'm going to go ahead and start early. That's the way I kind of start thinking there and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. Looks like there's a lot of comments today. This is really good. I'll catch up on everything. Don't worry. And we'll make sure we get the right beginning or all the preview stuff done. All right, the jump. So I'm saying, all right. Fun Guy is saying he's sick and sad. I don't like hearing that, Fun Guy. I hope you feel better and just get a lot of fluids, vitamin C, and rest as soon as you can feel better and stuff like that. So be ready to go ahead and just take it easy today if you can. If you don't have to work, this is good. Just rest as much as you can and keep your strength for the game because I know you'll want to be ready to watch that and stuff like that. I don't like hearing you're sick, Fun Guy. So get better fast. Cool Cat, good morning, Raptorfreak crew. Oh my gosh, we are very early. We're all excited. Yeah, I wanted to just jump on early. Why not? I'm ready. You guys are here and stuff like that. Click saying at work right now, but I get off at 12. Hope you guys have a great day. Let's start the season on a good note. Fuck Cleavageland. Cleavageland. Yeah, I like that. Click. I'm all about that. You have a good day out in Montreal and stuff like that. And yeah, let's see a good victory by the Raps tonight at home court. I think that Scotty's real serious about this. Like I said, he didn't like losing to Washington the first game last season, and he's really looking forward today. In fact, he was like going to bed early last night just to get extra rest for today and stuff like that. He watched the games, the NBA games, and probably went right to sleep after that. And Max is with him right now. In fact, Max is going to be his right-hand man. He's going to be with him for months starting now, probably just chronicling Scotty's season and filming him. So he is going to have his videographer with him all the time on his travels around the NBA for at least the first 2 months of the season. I bet he'll be around him for the whole rest of this year up until New Year's or something like that, maybe longer after that. So that's pretty cool that Max, the videographer, is going to be filming a lot of stuff with him. In fact, I think the whole reason why Scotty played the video game with the little kid on Fortnite is they wanted to film that stuff. They never told that kid who he was. He had no idea he played fortnight with the rookie of the year of the NBA. In fact, the kid wasn't even really a sports fan. He said he didn't watch basketball. He didn't really watch. He the only sport he kind of watches baseball is what he said. He was a real hick. Like that kid was such a Southern kid. He's like, yeah, and then you go over here and you shoot this. It's like we were trying to figure out where he was from. Lloyd and I thought he was from Tennessee, and then some of the other people were thinking he was from Texas somewhere and stuff like that. Somebody said Baltimore, and I'm like, Baltimore? That's not a Baltimore accent. I was like, Baltimore? Yeah, it was weird. We were trying to figure out where that kid was from. And yeah, he was really smart. Scotty, at one point, like he kind of sounded like sketchy. He's like, "What's your name, kid?" And the kid was kind of like, do I have to tell you?" It's probably that kid was taught by his parents not to give any information about him in any kind of way on that game. And that was a very smart, well brought up kid because he wasn't cussing. Like I said, he was going, "Oh, diddly, what in the world?" Oh man, Scotty is so funny talking to that kid. It was so crazy. Like it's hilarious, y'all. Like the kid has no idea who he's playing with. It's so weird and funny. I wanted him to tell him, but I was worried that if he told him, the kid would be like, "I don't know who you are," because he doesn't have any kind of like he doesn't watch NBA or probably doesn't even watch. He asked him if he watched football. He's like, "Do you like the Ravens?" The kid was like, "No, not really." It was funny. The kid, that interaction with that 10-year-old kid was hilarious. It was so funny. All right, so Cool Cat's going to be beginning the stream last night. And all right, it says I'm unstable. I'm going to see if it comes back. I'll kind of just talk a mess. Okay, he's kind of complaining. We are kind of complaining about not being able to see what he did on streams last week. So he put him up afterwards. So they're all up now. Monique, everybody, if you want to watch these incredible streams, like all three of them are amazing for different reasons. He played this crazy 6 overtime game the other day. I got to see it. I think you were there for that one, Cool Cat, when he was playing the 6 overtime game that he won in the end. There's just really brilliant moments. The how hungry are you stuff. He watched all the highlights from the Montreal preseason game, like in real after the game on Saturday, and that was fantastic to watch too. Like him, like he talks about Precious's dunk. The one where he really gets up there and threw it down in Montreal. He said, Precious is such an amazing athlete, is what he says. I don't understand how he does what he does in some ways. This is Scottie Barnes talking about Precious Achua, that the athletic gifts of him astound him and stuff like that. And one of the other thing that was said yesterday was Thad Young in his interview. He said Scottie Barnes is so special and good. He doesn't even realize how good he can be. And this is so true. This is actually so true. Scottie really is not fully aware of all the powers that he has that he can wield on an NBA court, and that he's going to be discovering them more and more as we go along and stuff like that. This is so weird, having this insight and being able to communicate with him and see him in real life, being really himself and talking about stuff. Because this is true what Thad's saying. This kid has no idea how good he can be, but we need to allow him to be as good as he's supposed to be and not put any kind of weird other things on top of him and stuff like that. The other thing that Thad said yesterday in his interview at OVO was that he wants this team to establish a physical presence right at the beginning of the season so that we can get calls from the refs. This kind of goes along with the ref report thing I was talking about on Sunday. The referees will reward hardworking teams that establish certain things. Now, if we come out flat and we don't show this in the first 10 games or 20 games of the season, we won't get better calls throughout the whole season. So if this is a vet, Thad Young, talking about the importance of a team coming out and establishing their identity on the court for getting preference with the refs. It's not just establishing your identity as what kind of team you're going to be for the season as far as your offense and your defense and stuff like that. It's also establishing, well, what kind of relationship are we going to have with the referees? And speaking of that, let's do the ref report right now. The referees for tonight are fairly friendly. I don't see any real negative refs on there. In fact, our crew chief is Josh Tiven. We just saw him on in the preseason in one of the games he refereed in that, and he's probably our nicest ref tonight. He's from the Connecticut area, and his favorite show is Seinfeld. He likes Dermot Kennedy is his favorite musician. He likes lasagna. Remember, he was the one who liked lasagna, and his favorite movie is Minority Report. His hidden talent is he's a yo-yo expert, guys. So he's a very good yo-yoer, and his record with us is 61.5%. So that's an excellent percentage for a 14-year ref. So Josh Tiven's an excellent crew chief for us to have. In fact, he refed us very well in preseason just in the last week or so. Now, the second ref is Carl Lane. Carl Lane is a 13-year ref out of Little Rock, Arkansas. He is a big, huge Star Wars nerd. He loves Star Wars. He listens to Jay-Z. He plays Candy Crush, and he loves Mexican food. So Carl Lane's not bad for us. He's a 57.8 win percentage, so I don't mind him at all. And then our last ref is Ray Acosta. Ray Acosta is the junior ref on this one. He's in his sixth season as a ref. His favorite show is Sopranos. He likes Scarface, the movie. Michael Jackson's his favorite musician. Rich Dad, Poor Dad's his favorite book, and anything Italian. Once again, these guys want Italian food, the referees tonight. And his win percentage is the worst of the three, 54.5%, but they're all 54 and up. So this is a very friendly crew to us to hopefully win our home opener against the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. Josh Tiven, Carl Lane, and Ray Acosta. That is our ref crew for tonight. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Salute to everyone. And Killer Cat, no worries on that. Tanking guy, I exposed him for a casual. I got your back. Awesome. Yeah. All right, cool. I don't even know what that's in reference to, but that's all right. Sue saying, good morning, everyone. I'm so excited for our first game of the season. Let's go, Raps. Yes, Raptorfreak Sue. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know the Raptors gonna win. Yes, yes. Scottie believes we're gonna rock this season. He really does believe, and they should. They have some swagger. Like I've said, they have immaculate vibes. Like the friendships and stuff like that. Scottie was talking about Jeff Dowd last night about how he is so cool and he loves the way he plays. Like in the highlights, he said, Jeff is so good, guys. I'm really impressed with Jeff Dowd. And he was talking about him. He talked about when they brought Champagny back. He's like, I'm so happy that Justin made the team. Jay Penny is what he calls him, Jay Pengy. And he said, listen, he was very worried he wasn't going to make the team in the last couple of weeks. This is what Scottie's saying about Justin, that he was so worried and he's really happy that he made it, that it means a lot and that he's so happy for his friend. And then he's watched the highlight of Justin doing that little finger roll in the Montreal game. And he's like, how do you do that? He's like, whoa, that's so cool. He's like, it's so fun to watch him watch the Raptors highlights because he really gets excited about his teammates' stuff. And you can see kind of how he's jumping around and crazy. He didn't like the technicals in that game. In fact, he disagreed with Jason Tatum getting thrown out. And he's a little worried about the referees being real touchy this season, you can tell. But once again, when he starts talking about referees, he clams up real quick because he remembers, he's like, I don't want them to see this and me to get in trouble all of a sudden out of the blue and stuff like that. So he was a little wary of the refs being so power hungry in the game the other night. Like Giamidis really did throw his muscle around on Jason Tatum in that moment when he tossed him and stuff like that. But Scottie didn't necessarily agree with it. So that's the interesting thing about it. Is that he didn't agree with the referees being so tough in that game, especially also with this bench celebration call. He didn't like that either. So all right, let's keep going. Fun guy saying, I'm going to smoke a joint, relieve some pain, cause nothing stopping my hype. 7 p.m. Let's go. Let's go, fun guy. That's what you do. You could be hurting in the bad shape, but that last mile to get to the promised land, you put that adrenaline through your body and your blood, and you get through it. You don't even listen to the pain or the hurt, and you just get there. Look, keep your eyes on the prize. It's coming tonight, baby. It's coming tonight. The new NBA season. Let's go. Yeah. Scottie looked fresh as fuck at that event. Didn't he? I love that clip of them all standing together, like Koloko, Ron Harper, Precious, Chris Boucher. They're all standing in a row, Scottie, and they all have different looks to them. They all have different vibes to them. Like to me, in some ways, the Raptors are like a boy band. They have like different personalities. It's like they're like a K-pop band. There's like 12 members of them, and they all have different looks. And if they sang music, they'd all come out and sing different styles. Like Delano would come out with his hair swinging and be like, and all the girls would be like, "Ooh!" And Gary would come out and do like a little, and Scottie, and they'd all be like wearing different stuff and having their own personalities on show and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about? They're like one big extended boy band that, like, if they got up on stage, women would scream at them and be like, "Oh, I love Scottie." Ooh. He did. He looked real good, but he turned around and took that shirt right back the next morning. When he told us that, I was like, man, this is a Ballers on the Budget NBA edition. This is what's going on with Scottie Barnes. This is how you live your life and live good, but on a budget. He's like, I'm not paying $400 for a shirt. So he took it back. I'm telling you, somebody needs to go find that particular shirt and go buy it. That's a famous shirt now, the Scottie Barnes Music Foundation shirt, and it is out there for sale, y'all. You got to find out which store that was and find out which shirt it was that Scottie had, because it is back. He returned it. You can go buy it. I'm telling you, somebody, a good real fan needs to go find that.